Barely 60 years ago, where the tallest buildings in the world now stand, there was only desert, a small fishing port, and a handful of families who made their living diving for pearls. Today, that same land is home to artificial islands visible from space, indoor ski slopes in the middle of the desert, and a tower so tall you can watch the sunset twice in the same day if you go down fast enough. Today we're going to explore Dubai, one of the most fascinating and contradictory cities on the planet, and I promise that behind the luxury we all know, there are far more curiosities than you'd imagine. Before we continue, if you enjoy this kind of content, give the video a like and subscribe with the bell turned on, so you never miss any of the journeys we have planned for you. 1. A city that a century ago was just a fishing and pearl diving village. In the early 20th century, Dubai was little more than a small coastal settlement, dedicated mainly to fishing and the trade of natural pearls, harvested from the bottom of the Persian Gulf by divers who plunged in without any equipment, holding their breath for minutes at a time. The entire region's economy depended almost exclusively on this activity, until the emergence of Japanese cultured pearls in the 1930s collapsed this market entirely, forcing the city to search for a new economic path. 2. Oil arrived late, and in far smaller amounts than most people think. Contrary to what many assume, Dubai never had the massive oil reserves of other neighboring emirates like Abu Dhabi. Oil was discovered relatively late in the region, in 1966, and its reserves were always modest compared to the rest of the Persian Gulf. Today, oil accounts for less than 1% of the city's gross domestic product, a fact that surprises many people who assume all of Dubai's luxury is built on oil fields. 3. A visionary decision that changed the city's entire destiny. Aware that oil alone wouldn't be enough or last forever, Dubai's leaders decided early on to diversify the economy toward trade, tourism, finance, and construction. This strategic bet, launched back in the 70s and 80s, is the reason Dubai today functions as a global financial and logistics hub, while other oil-producing cities in the region still depend almost entirely on their reserves. 4. Artificial islands so large they can be seen from space. One of Dubai's most ambitious projects is Palm Jumeirah, an artificial island shaped like a palm tree, built from sand dredged from the seafloor, so large it's clearly visible in satellite images. Its construction required more than 90 million cubic meters of sand and rock, and its palm shape was specifically chosen to maximize the amount of available coastline for beachfront properties in a city with limited natural shoreline. 5. An artificial archipelago that represents an entire map of the world. Even more ambitious than Palm Jumeirah is The World, a collection of more than 300 artificial islands arranged so that, seen from above, they literally form a map of planet Earth. Each island represents a different country or region, and they were sold individually to private investors. However, many of these islands remain today uninhabited or in various stages of development, making the project one of the most ambitious and also one of the least completed in the entire city. 6. The tallest building ever constructed by human hands. The Burj Khalifa, standing 2,717 feet tall, has been the tallest building in the world since its opening in 2010, and by such a wide margin that the world's second tallest building falls far short. Its construction required entirely new engineering techniques to pump concrete to such heights, and its design, inspired by a desert flower called Himena callus, was specifically created to withstand the powerful winds generated at that altitude. 7. A building so tall you can watch the sunset twice in one day. Because of the Burj Khalifa's height, people at its upper floors can witness a curious phenomenon. Watch the sunset from the observation deck, quickly ride one of the building's high-speed elevators down, and see the sun still visible above the horizon from street level, thanks to the difference in perspective created by such an extreme height relative to the visible curvature of the horizon. 8. An entire ski slope inside a shopping mall in the middle of the desert. Ski Dubai is an indoor ski slope located inside the Mall of the Emirates, featuring real snow generated artificially year-round, despite outdoor temperatures that can top 104 degrees Fahrenheit in summer. It features several slopes of varying difficulty and an area for live penguins, making it one of the greatest climate paradoxes ever built by human hands anywhere in the world. 9. A fully automated subway system without a single human driver. The Dubai Metro is one of the longest fully automated rail transit systems in the world, operating without human drivers on any of its trains. The entire system runs on centralized computer control and includes special first-class cars and compartments reserved exclusively for women and children, reflecting both the city's technological sophistication and its particular cultural and social characteristics. 10. A tower that cools its interior using traditional architectural wisdom. Although Dubai is synonymous with ultra-modern skyscrapers, some buildings in the city incorporate elements of traditional Gulf architecture, such as wind towers, structures designed to capture breezes and funnel them indoors without needing any electricity. These systems, inherited from historic cities in the region, show that even in the most futuristic city in the world, centuries-old engineering solutions still persist. 11. ATMs that dispense gold bars instead of cash. In some of Dubai's shopping malls, there are special vending machines that, instead of dispensing cash, dispense pure gold bars and coins, updating their price in real time according to the international market rate for the metal. These machines have become a tourist attraction in their own right, reflecting Dubai's historic status as one of the world's major gold trading hubs. 12. A city with no income tax for its residents. Dubai charges no personal income tax, a policy that has attracted professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors from around the world for decades. The city's government finances itself mainly through consumption taxes, business fees, and revenue generated by its own state-owned companies, an economic model that has been key to establishing Dubai as one of the favorite destinations for doing business anywhere in the Middle East. 13. A population where local residents are a minority in their own city. Approximately 85% of Dubai's population is made up of foreigners, mainly workers from India, Pakistan, the Philippines, and Bangladesh, along with a large community of Western professionals. Native Emiratis make up a small minority within their own city, a highly unusual demographic situation that generates social, labor, and cultural dynamics unlike almost any other capital in the world. 14. Labor conditions that have faced strong international scrutiny. Behind the glow of Dubai's skyscrapers lies a reality less visible to tourists. Thousands of migrant workers, primarily from South Asia, who for years have reported extremely harsh working conditions, long shifts under very high temperatures, and hiring systems that have at times been described by international organizations as bordering on forced labor. In recent years, the government of the United Arab Emirates has implemented several labor reforms, though various human rights organizations believe there is still a long way to go on this front. 15. Very strict laws that surprise many Western visitors. Dubai combines an image of openness and modernity with a legal framework based in several aspects of daily life on Islamic law. There are specific rules governing alcohol consumption, public behavior, dress, and personal relationships, which can lead to serious legal consequences for anyone who is unaware of them or chooses to ignore them. Every year, some tourists end up facing unexpected legal trouble over behavior that would be considered completely normal in their home countries. 16. A shopping mall so large it has its own aquarium and ice rink. The Dubai Mall is one of the largest shopping malls in the world by total area, and inside its premises, it houses a giant aquarium with thousands of marine animals, including sharks, an Olympic-sized ice skating rink, and hundreds of stores spread across several levels. The complex receives more visitors each year than many of the world's most famous historical monuments, making it a tourist destination in its own right. 17. a fountain that synchronizes water with music and lights in front of the world's tallest building. Right at the foot of the Burj Khalifa lies the Dubai Fountain, one of the largest choreographed fountain systems in the world, capable of shooting illuminated jets of water more than 500 feet into the air, synchronized with classical, Arabic, and contemporary music. Every night, thousands of people gather to watch this free show, which has become one of the city's most iconic postcard images. 18. A desert at the city's doorstep offering a completely different experience. Just a few minutes' drive from downtown lies the Dubai Desert, where thousands of tourists take off-road dune excursions, enjoy traditional Bedouin dinners under the stars, and take camel rides at sunset. This contrast between the hyper-modern city and the ancient desert, separated by only a few minutes' distance, is one of the great draws that sets Dubai apart from any other global metropolis. 19. A mosque capable of holding thousands of worshippers with striking architecture. Although the UAE's most famous Grand Mosque is located in Abu Dhabi, Dubai has its own Jumeirah Mosque, one of the few mosques in the country that allows access to non-Muslim visitors through guided tours. Its architecture, inspired by medieval Fatimid style, has made it one of the most photographed structures in the city and a key stop for anyone seeking to better understand the culture and predominant religion of the region. 20. A hotel that calls itself the world's only 7-star hotel, even though that category doesn't officially exist. The Burj Al Arab, with its iconic sail-like shape, is regularly marketed as the only 7-star hotel on the planet, even though no official international hotel rating system recognizes that category. The hotel is built on its own artificial island, connected to the mainland by a private bridge, and its suites, among the most expensive in the world, include a personal butler around the clock. 21. An airport that for years was the busiest in the world for international flights. Dubai International Airport was, for several years, the airport with the highest volume of international passenger traffic anywhere on the planet, surpassing even historically dominant airports like London's or Hong Kong's. Its strategic geographic position, halfway between Europe, Asia, and Africa, has made the city a critical hub for global air connections in trade and tourism. 22. A police force that uses luxury sports cars to patrol the streets. Dubai's police force includes a fleet of vehicles from brands like Lamborghini, Ferrari, Bugatti, and Bentley, used mainly in high-profile tourist and commercial areas. Although in practice, these vehicles are mostly used for public relations and international image purposes, they have become a recognizable symbol of the ostentatious character Dubai projects to the rest of the world. 23. An artificial rain system to combat extreme heat. Due to extremely high temperatures and scarce natural rainfall in the region, the United Arab Emirates has invested in cloud seeding technology, a process in which chemical particles are dispersed into moisture-laden clouds to induce artificial rainfall. This program, operated mainly from Abu Dhabi but with direct impact on Dubai as well, aims to increase available water levels in one of the most arid regions on the planet. 24. One of the most ambitious vertical farming projects in the world, right in the middle of the desert. In recent years, Dubai has promoted the development of high-tech vertical farms capable of producing fresh vegetables using a fraction of the water that traditional agriculture would require. These fully climate-controlled, automated facilities aim to reduce the country's dependence on imported food, in a territory where conventional agriculture is practically unviable due to desert conditions. 25. A city planning to build its own replica of Mars right here on Earth. The United Arab Emirates has announced in recent years an ambitious project known as Mars Science City, planned for construction near Dubai, a complex designed to simulate the conditions of a human settlement on Mars for scientific and educational research purposes. The project is part of the country's broader strategy to position itself as a relevant player in space exploration, an unexpected goal for a nation that, barely half a century ago, depended almost entirely on pearl fishing. 26. A museum of the future with architecture as striking as its content. The Museum of the Future, recently opened in Dubai, is a building shaped like a silver ring covered in Arabic calligraphy, designed to showcase technological innovations and speculative visions of what human life might look like in the coming decades. Its structure, considered one of the most complex ever built without any visible internal support, has quickly become one of the city's most photographed and recognizable buildings. 27. An artificial canal that cuts right through the heart of the city. The Dubai Water Canal is an artificial extension connecting the historic Dubai Creek to the sea, literally running through some of the city's most exclusive neighborhoods. Its construction required rerouting part of the urban traffic underground to allow the water to flow continuously. And today, its banks are lined with restaurants, parks, and luxury residential towers, completely transforming the urban landscape of that part of the city. 28. A traditional gold market that stands in stark contrast to the nearby skyscrapers. The Gold Souk in the historic Deira district is a traditional market where hundreds of jewelry shops display gold and precious stones in packed display cases, maintaining a retail style that has changed very little over the past decades. Just a few minutes from the world's most modern skyscrapers, this market offers one of the few remaining windows into the Dubai that existed before the recent real estate and financial boom. 29. A city that has decided to bet heavily on flying taxis and vehicles. Dubai has announced on various occasions plans to implement autonomous flying taxi systems, electric vehicles capable of vertical takeoff and landing to transport passengers above urban traffic. Although fully developing this technology still faces significant regulatory and technical challenges, it reflects the city's constant tendency to position itself as a testing ground for futuristic technologies that, in most of the world, still feel like science fiction. 30. A city built to a great extent on the work of millions of people who never fully enjoy its luxury. Behind every skyscraper, every artificial island, and every shopping mall in Dubai lies the labor of millions of migrant workers who, in many cases, live in conditions far removed from the glamour the city projects outward. This duality, between the extreme luxury seen by tourists and the everyday reality of much of its working population, is perhaps the deepest and least photographed contrast in the entire city. And so we reach the end of this journey through Dubai, a city that in barely half a century went from being a small fishing village to becoming one of the most recognizable symbols of luxury and human ambition. A metropolis of deep contrasts between impossible towers and ancient deserts, between ostentatious wealth and complex labor realities, between Islamic tradition and extreme modernity. If you made it this far, you now know Dubai far beyond what Instagram photos ever show. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like, subscribe with the bell turned on, and tell us in the comments what surprised you the most about everything you just discovered. See you on the next journey.